It's week one of LCS playoffs with coverage brought to you by Alienware. I'm joined right now by Licorice, who was the MVP of the 100 Thieves Golden Guardian series, which I don't think a lot of people expected because people thought 100 Thieves were going to win, and you've received a lot of criticism over the course of the split. So this has got to feel pretty fucking good.
Yeah, no, it feels good.
Yeah. What happened today that allowed you to turn this on so much?
Well, my coaches stopped picking me Scion, which really helped. You know, there's not too much you can do on that champion.
Yes. Do you think that held back Tenacity from getting MVP?
I mean, I would have liked to see him play more of his like actual carry champions. Like I know he was hovering them in a lot of the games, and then he would just lock in Scion. It was like a little bit disappointing, but yeah.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but when there's a team with Bjergsen and Double Lift on it, the third lane, they don't
they don't get a lot of resources. Yeah.
Just if you ever play with them, they've played with a lot of people. So if you end up, just a heads up.
Yeah.
Okay, but back to Golden Guardians. All right, so that series was wild because the first four games, I thought you guys were going to have the fastest best of five series ever. Like, you guys were every game was just so stompy, and then obviously the fifth game delivered. What do you think led the first four games to be so one-sided?
Gosh, I mean, the first game was just weird. Like, I think we were like kind of warming up and working through some nerves because like we had a big lead and then we lost and then just like kept losing and lost really fast in the end actually. So that was strange. And then games 2 and 3 was just like absolute stomps both ways. I don't even remember game 4.
Game 4 was also pretty stompy with them. Like it felt like Blue Side was just always going to.
Oh, game 4. Yeah, no, I was playing. Wait, was that my Cassante game or was that a different game?
Game 4. Yeah, nobody remembers.
Yeah,
it was pretty rough.
I mean, bot lane when it's ahead, pretty OP right now. Yes. So I think that's just like the biggest thing where it's like both teams were just trying to get bot lane ahead, and one game one bot lane got ahead, and the next game the other one got ahead. So like the game just ends.
Yeah. I obviously not the side that you're on, but of the map, but Huhi bringing in the Blitzcrank at the end to kind of like do not a counter pick, but it's kind of be like, oh, I can play Blitz too. What was that conversation like behind the scenes?
Well, Blitzcrank is something that we've actually been playing. And Jay thought it was good, and we were all like a little like, oh, we're not so sure if this is good. And then Busio played it, and we're like, hey man, have at it. Like,
All right, so there was also a funny thing where I just felt, especially in Game 5, but in some of the other games too. Obviously, you had a great performance, but a lot of that performance was hanging out in the side lanes and just pushing and then eventually waiting to teleport or something. So was that something that you guys deliberately decided against 100 Thieves as a strategy? Do you think it was just a good strategy overall? Was it, if Tenacity's not going to get resources, let's make sure Licorice gets them? What led to that?
I mean, I just think we watched the series versus FlyQuest, and they played like a lot of lane swaps. Like Tenacity was like really not getting any resources, like even for like top lane standards, like really low. So my kind of idea was just if I pick a scaling side lane champ and I just push inside the whole game, then I'm going to show up to a team fight and just like kill everyone eventually. So I think it's just a good strat for them.
Do you how much of your ability to dominate that lane was because Tenacity, the champions that Tenacity was on, versus I don't know if you just feel like maybe this is Tenacity's first first best of fight, but first playoffs. Maybe nerves on his part. I don't know how you feel about his performance.
I think he mostly played pretty well. The Gragas game, he made like a really big mistake. He missed his E level 1, which is why we ended up diving him right after that. So that was like really big in that game. But for the most part, I thought he played pretty well actually.
Moving back to talking about Golden Guardians, what was the vibe going into today's match? Because obviously you guys had such a great streak at one point in time and then started to kind of sputter out at the end. So I don't know what the attitude and mentality was going into the match.
I wasn't too sure what to expect, honestly. Like I thought we could win, we could lose, we could have really good games, we could have really bad games. We kind of had all of it actually. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. And like I said this on the broadcast, but Nick Smith was talking about the 7-win curse. Yeah. And he was talking about that with us, and that made me feel a bit better. Okay. So
yeah. They were just like, okay, that's what happens to everybody.
Yeah.
The final game, it really did feel like for a while they were going to win. It felt like they were winning all these team fights, never super in the gold lead, but also getting so many dragons. Then there's that crazy team fight top lane that allows you guys to secure the win.
Yeah.
What were comms like? What was the conversation like in that crucial moment of the series?
Yeah. I mean, we were top, and I was pushing mid, and I was just saying like, I don't see anyone mid. Be careful top. And then I heard Sion ult, and obviously like they're going top. And then Jay died, and everyone's like back, back, back. And then no one really said anything. And then all of a sudden on my screen, I just saw like that Doublelift died.
Yeah.
Like Trevor killed Doublelift, and I was like, oh, it's good. And I like looked top, and I was like, oh, it is good. And then I ran over, and yeah. And then we were like, yeah, we can fight. And then we won. And, yeah.
Is that the main vibe whenever you're playing against 100 Thieves? It's just whenever Doublelift is dead, it's like, okay, here we go. Because people have criticized them for being so one-dimensional.
I mean, definitely with the comps they like to play. Like they were playing like support mid lane, tank top, and then like Jinx, and just putting everything into Jinx. So like definitely, if you kill him, the team fight's looking really good.
I referenced this at the beginning, but I feel like even when people were really excited about Golden Guardians, a lot of people were like, yeah, but Licorice is just not, he doesn't do much up there or whatever. I think on Hotline League, Anero defended you a little bit and was like, hey, listen, he's got a role to play and he's playing it. He's doing it pretty well. But I don't know if you felt like any pressure to, showcase what you can do. If today's series feels vindicating in any way, getting that MVP, like what has this been like for you?
I mean, it's really nice to win MVP, obviously, and it's nice to be able to play like more carry champions and do damage in team fights. I find that more fun personally.
Yes.
But I think like for the most part, I was pretty much just ignoring what the fans said, and like a lot of the time, my job was just like what I thought of as the Gimgoon role, where I'm in top lane, I'm picking like a champ for the team, and my job is to not die. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna not die, and then we'll see what happens. So I don't feel like I've performed amazingly this split or anything, but I think it was like a solid performance out of me.
And then in this series, you were like, no, guys, let me do this. I can do this.
Yeah.
That's gotta feel good, and then you did it.
Yeah, no, it feels good.
All right. So you will face either CLG or AG. Do you have any expectations on which one you'll face?
I think it'll be EG.
Okay. Do you think they will be a tougher opponent than 100T?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you concerned because 100T pushed you guys right up to that final team fight? So if they're just even slightly better, you guys will have to step up a lot over this week, right?
Well, we learned a lot, and we got a lot of experience today. So I think, I don't know, it's like a best of 5 in playoffs. Like anything can happen, and any team can win. I think EG looks stronger on paper, but like maybe they like sleep bad the night before and just run it down. So you never know.
Well, they've been sick for a little bit.
Yeah.
So who knows? All right. Anything you want to say to any of the fans out there?
Just thanks for all the support, and we're gonna try to go to finals. So hopefully you'll see us there.
Thank you so much for the interview. Congratulations on MVP today and the victory over 100 Thieves. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things playoffs right here on my YouTube channel. It's been very cloudy here in Los Angeles lately. A lot of rain. The mood kind of gets me down. And I just make these videos. I upload them. And the only thing that makes me happy is getting to use an Alienware computer to be able to upload them and edit them and to make sure you get to watch them. So as the sun comes out and brightens me up, I promise this is actually not a camera effect. It's actually happening as we're filming this outro. Go check out alienware.com/Travis and bring a little light and sun into your day.